Good evening, you're watching 7 at 7. I'm Preeti Chaudhary, the only news bulletin 7 at 7 where we curate the day's top 7 stories for our viewers. Before I hit the headlines, I want to quickly take our viewers, at least numerically, where India stands with its fight with COVID-19. Total positive cases right now stand at 11,55,191. We've registered till now 28,084 deaths. The worst affected state continues to be the state of Maharashtra, right now registering 3,18,695 positive cases with 12,030 deaths. Tamil Nadu is second with 1,75,678 COVID positive cases, registering 2,551 deaths. Delhi is now registering a total of 1,23,747 COVID-19 positive cases. Until now has registered 3,663 deaths. Till now, this is the number which has been recorded to just about 20 minutes ago. So this is where we stand numerically with a fight against coronavirus. All right, we're going to begin with some news break coming in from Odisha, and these are shocking visuals. Visuals from Malkangiri in Odisha, where children between 10 and 12 years of age were served country-made liquor. More than 50 children were made to drink salapa, a country-made liquor, by villagers who told them it was a precautionary measure against COVID-19. This is horrific what's happened in Odisha. Liquor was served to kids as young as 10 to 12 years. They were made to sit down, and country-made liquor was served to them by the local villagers, because the villagers apparently believe that by ingesting this liquor, the children will prevent themselves from getting infected with the coronavirus. Horrific visuals there in terms of just the apathy or the possible education where these villagers stand at, where kids as young as 12 years old were made to ingest alcohol. This is country-made liquor, made to ingest alcohol in an attempt for them to not get infected by coronavirus, as this was the belief by the local villagers. This is in the Malkangiri district in Odisha. And these visuals have been streaming, they've gone viral, and we've authenticated the video. The video is correct. It's from the Malkangiri district of Odisha, where children as young, mind you, as 10 years old, have been served with country-made liquor, primarily because the villagers there believe that by ingesting this country-made liquor, this will help the kids actually build immunity and serve them as a shield against coronavirus. I want to connect right now to Mandakini Kar. She's the member of the Odisha Child Rights Panel. Ms. Kar, appreciate you joining me. The story is horrific. Children as young as 10 have been served liquor. They've been made to ingest liquor by the local villagers there. What is the action that has been taken? Ms. Kar, can you hear me?
Hello?
Ms. Kar, children as young as 10 years old have been made to ingest country-made liquor in an attempt of what the villagers say to avert getting infected from coronavirus. What action has been taken, Ms. Kar?
नमस्कार
जी मिस कर, क्या एक्शन लिया गया है? चाइल्ड राइट पैनल ने उड़ीसा में 10 साल के बच्चों को अल्कोहल पिलाया जा रहा है।
पहले तो ये बहुत हम सबके लिए एक लज्जाजनक की बात है कि 10 साल के बच्चे को लिक्विड दिया जा रहा है कोरोना ना होने के लिए। अभी तक जो मेरे पास जो रिकॉर्ड्स है या जो भी डाटा है उसके हिसाब से ये वीडियो कब का है, उसकी कोई कोरोना के टाइम है या उससे पहले है, पहले तो ये जांच होना चाहिए। दूसरी बात, जो बच्चे हैं वो लिक्विड एक्साइज डिपार्टमेंट कलेक्टर से बात हुई है कि एक्साइज डिपार्टमेंट को उन्होंने जांच के लिए भेजा है वहाँ पर कि एक वीडियो कब का है और किस एरिया का पर्टिकुलर है और क्या कर रहे थे बच्चे लोग, और जो वीडियो बना रहे थे वो बच्चों को लेकर कैसे वीडियो बना रहा था, इस सब की जांच पहले होनी चाहिए। ये अभी तक कोई रिपोर्ट नहीं आया है डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन से।
मिस कर, कोई आइडिया है कि ये कौन सा गांव है, कौन सा कस्बा है जहां पर ये इंसिडेंट हुआ है?
ये ट्राइबल एरिया का मुझे जहाँ तक पता है, एक ट्राइबल एरिया मालकानगिरी का है। वहाँ पर ये जान शायद हुआ है।
आपकी टीम जाएगी वहां पर अभी?
हाँ, 100% जाएगी।
अभी तक वहां से क्या अंदेशा आ रहा है?
अभी तक एक्सरसाइज डिपार्टमेंट के जो सुपरिटेंडेंट है वो वहाँ पर गए थे। वो जांच के लिए, कलेक्टर ने उन्हें जांच के लिए वहाँ पर भेजा हुआ है। अभी तक कोई रिपोर्ट नहीं आई है वहाँ से। पहले तो वीडियो कब का है ये तो जांच होना चाहिए, इसीलिए अभी डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ने उन्हें वहाँ पर भेजा है। कोई रिपोर्ट नहीं है अभी तक आई है।
बहुत शुक्रिया हमसे बात करने का। This is just apathy. It's amazing what's happening right now in Odisha. Apathetic, to say the least, where children as young as 10 years old have been made to drink, ingest alcohol. Well, apparently, the reasoning given by the local villagers, this is a tribal area of Malkangiri district in Odisha, is that this will safeguard them against coronavirus. As bizarre as it sounds, yet it's true. We're going to keep a keen eye on all developments. I want to cut across to the next story. We're tracking from Karnataka. Karnataka's battle against COVID-19 continues. The numbers keep rising. The focus remains entirely on Bengaluru right now. However, the situation is grim in other districts of the state as well. Here is a report from the Kalburgi district, which is the second worst hit district.
Images depicting the big COVID crisis. Pigs and piglets roaming around in a government hospital in Karnataka's Kalaburgi. The district, which saw its first COVID death in early March, has progressively sunk into chaos. On Tuesday, the cases in Kalaburgi neared 3,000 with around 50 deaths. Sources blame delayed response and flip-flops and mismanagement after the first death. In April, the local deputy commissioner was shunted out. The order was soon cancelled. The city commissioner was given concurrent charge of the power board as an MD, leaving the area without a full-time commissioner right in the middle of a pandemic. The opposition says the government is focusing on Bengaluru and ignoring other districts.
There is no basic common sense. Nothing, no sense, only minister, internal problems, squabblings is only going on. Politics is different. Administration is different. They doesn't have control over the administration.
I myself was quite surprised that they found 1,000 pigs in the district hospital. I mean, like I said, when you have the first corona death and you have the national media's attention, I think you should be better prepared. The problem in Gulbarga is not infrastructure issues. I think it is a lack of political will of the state government.
The government, however, maintains that the situation is under control in Kalaburgi.
Government is for people, it is by the people, for the people. Definitely there's mechanism and concerns to be addressed in the government. So far government has been taking care of the people, and what needs to be done now most important is whoever gets infected, adequate care, adequate treatment on the fast line. Immediately we need to start them on immediate treatment.
The state has also lacked in the number of tests conducted. Many districts have just one lab with a capacity to take 700 to 800 samples. Are regions like Kalaburgi facing neglect amidst the big focus on state capital Bengaluru?
Many believe that the opposition have a valid point in criticizing the government on heavily concentrating on Bengaluru and ignoring the other districts. The in-charge ministers of these districts have not called a single meeting of stakeholders till date. Even though the cases of Bengaluru are around 49%, the other districts have contributed the remaining 51% and needs equal attention. Nagarjun Dwarkanath for India Today.
All right, now let's shift focus to Bengaluru. After a week-long complete lockdown imposed in Karnataka's capital city, Bengaluru, to contain the spread of the virus, even though the virus is only spreading and the curve is only getting higher, the Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa confirmed that there will not be any extension of the lockdown. Addressing the people of the state via social media, Yediyurappa said that the lockdown is not a solution, which is why restrictions will now continue only in containment zones. Yediyurappa stressed that it is important to keep the economic cycle moving and that people need to get back to work. I want to connect right now immediately to my colleague Nolan Pinto, who's joining us. Nolan, not that the situation is under control, not that the COVID cases are lessening, not that there's any less pressure on the frontline workers, the doctors, the hospitals right now. A COVID bed to a patient ratio is still very grim. There are no beds available yet. The lockdown will not be extended in Bengaluru.
Well, in fact, this is what the Chief Minister stated to the citizens of Karnataka. He says that lockdown is not the solution, but rather that the state government will make sure that stringent measures are taken only, he says, in containment zones. He says that people need to work, the economy needs to be open. This is what he says, and that this is what's going to happen. However, he did put the blame, Preeti, on people coming from Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra. He says that the cases in Karnataka actually went up when they actually opened the borders. However, he very clearly says that lockdown is not the solution. You need to wear your mask. You need to practice social distancing. And at least till the vaccines come out, this is the only way to actually fight the pandemic. But like you rightly stated, the cases are not going down over here. People are still finding it very difficult to find oxygen beds. COVID care center beds are there, but oxygen beds are not available. If you don't have a COVID certificate, in spite of the government stating that action will be taken against hospitals, hospitals are not taking you in. Right. So in spite of all these troubles, the government says there will be no lockdown.
All right, appreciate you joining us, Nolan. We'll keep coming back to you for more updates, but let's get you the national perspective now. The Union Health Ministry held a press conference today. The ministry stated the ultimate aim for the government is to bring down positivity rate of COVID-19 cases to 5%, which is why they are focusing on testing. The ministry also revealed that India's fatality rate has now dropped further to 2.4%. Listen in.
Over a period of time, the case fatality rate has dropped significantly to 2.43%. And this is a tribute to our frontline healthcare workers, our doctors, our nurses, our paramedical workers and other caregivers. ये उन सब के डेडिकेटेड और सम्मिलित प्रयासों का फल है। जब हम कोविड से लड़ाई कर रहे हैं तो एग्रेसिव टेस्टिंग सबसे बड़ा हथियार है और जैसा मैंने पहले भी आपको बताया था कि WHO के गाइडेंस नोट में ये कहा गया है कि एडिक्वेट टेस्टिंग तब होती है जबकि आप प्रतिदिन 140 टेस्ट प्रति 10 लाख पॉपुलेशन करें और इस दर को लंबे समय तक कायम रखें। तो आप देखेंगे कि वर्तमान में भारत में हम 180 टेस्ट पर डे पर मिलियन पॉपुलेशन कर रहे हैं।
For months now, everyone has just one question on their mind: when will there be a coronavirus vaccine available? Today, there's a ray of hope in the hunt for the vaccine. Oxford University trials have shown encouraging results. The vaccine that is being developed by the Oxford University and pharma giant AstraZeneca has proved to be safe on 1,077 candidates.
It's what the world has been waiting to hear. Finally, a breakthrough in the hunt for the coronavirus vaccine. The vaccine developed by the University of Oxford appears safe and triggers immune response against the virus. Trials involving 1,077 people showed the injection led them to making antibodies and T cells that can fight coronavirus. The vaccine is made from a genetically engineered virus that causes common cold in chimpanzees. It has been heavily modified to make it look more like coronavirus. This was done by transferring the genetic instructions for the coronavirus spike protein to the vaccine. This means the vaccine resembles the coronavirus and the immune system can learn how to attack it.
We can see that the vaccine does induce a robust immune response in the volunteers. The vaccine really does perform in exactly the same way as we've seen with other vaccines of this type.
The vaccine is being developed at unprecedented speed. Oxford University is working with the UK-based global biopharmaceutical company AstraZeneca and has already signed deals to mass market the vaccine if it passes in human trials.
One of the key things we did was to partner with AstraZeneca, a global pharma company. Way back in April, which seems a long time ago now, they were learning how to manufacture our vaccine. They were scaling it up, and that's happened extraordinarily quickly.
In India, the Serum Institute has sought permission to start clinical trials of the Oxford vaccine. Serum Institute has a manufacturing arrangement with AstraZeneca to produce 1 billion doses if the Oxford University vaccine candidate is successful. The findings are hugely promising, but it is still too soon to know if this is enough to offer protection.
We're hoping to be able to answer whether you need 2 shots of a vaccine, what dose you need in those 2 shots, and whether you need a higher amount or number of vaccine doses in older adults.
It's possible that the coronavirus vaccine will be proven effective before the end of this year. But how soon will we get it? That's the most critical question. Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, let's take you across now to the political story that has been developing for over a week. There's been some relief coming in for the Sachin Pilot camp and his 18 rebel MLAs in Rajasthan after the High Court asked the Speaker to defer action against rebels on disqualification till Friday, till the 24th of July. The move has given time to the Pilot camp to regroup while Gehlot is doing all he can to keep his flock together. This is how things unfolded.
Congress leader Sachin Pilot has just got a breather. After 2 days of prolonged arguments, the Rajasthan High Court has stopped the Speaker from disqualifying Pilot and his 18 supporters till Friday. The bench, headed by the Chief Justice of Rajasthan, Indrajit Mohanty, has reserved its verdict till then. In the court, the Speaker's counsel had argued that the disqualification notice by a Speaker can't be challenged. Pilot camp's Mukul Rohatgi claimed the notice reeked of ill intent as it didn't give enough time to reply.
If the Speaker is not even empowered to regulate as to how he wants to decide, people may allege to the courts tomorrow that whichever application comes first should be decided first, notices should be issued first. So this is not the thing. It is the person who is having a constitutional authority has to apply his mind as to when and what is the urgency. It cannot be first in, first out. If that is the scenario, probably there'll be fingers pointed out towards the court as well.
The delay in verdict is a setback for CM Ashok Gehlot, who wants to prove his majority at the earliest. Gehlot had even told his MLAs camped at the Fairmont Hotel in Jaipur that the hotel stay would soon be over. The task is cut out for Gehlot. He has to keep his flock together if the legal battle prolongs. He is also under pressure from the top leadership. Sources tell India Today the Congress High Command has reprimanded Gehlot for personal attacks on Sachin Pilot.
एक छोटी खबर नहीं पड़ी हुई किसी ने कि पायलट साहब को हटाना चाहिए प्रदेश कांग्रेस कमेटी अध्यक्ष से। हम जानते थे कि निकम्मा है, नाकारा है, कुछ काम नहीं कर रहा है, खाली लोगों को लड़वा रहा है।
Meanwhile, the Rajasthan Chief Secretary is expected to submit his explanation on the bribery audio tapes to the centre. Insiders in the government claim the letters may say the phones of alleged middleman Sanjay Jain was being tapped, but not of any political leaders.
The Rajasthan tussle has hogged the headlines, with both sides playing to the media gallery, knowing that this battle is about wits and nerves. That said, the suspense isn't over. The next 2 days could see new twists and turns before the expected climax in the court. With video journalist Ajay Thakur and Devankur Wadhwa, this is Mosmi Singh in Jaipur for India Today.
Meanwhile, the probe into the alleged abetment of actor Sushant Singh Rajput's suicide has intensified. Film critic Rajiv Masand is the latest to be questioned by the Bandra police. Masand faces allegations of willfully giving negative ratings on the deceased actor's movies. The ratings, allegedly at the behest of ace Bollywood personalities, were aimed at hurting the career of Sushant. Top filmmaker Sanjay Leela Bhansali, Yash Raj Films chairman Aditya Chopra, meanwhile, have given contradictory statements. Bhansali has claimed Yash Raj Movies had declined to allow Sushant to shoot for Bajirao Mastani. But Aditya Chopra claims Bhansali never approached YRF and there was no curb on Sushant to act in Bollywood projects. Mumbai police have now so far recorded statements of 38 Bollywood personalities. All right, with that, we've reached the end of 7 at 7, but as usual, every day we bust certain claims that are floating about in social media but are actually factually wrong. So there is a claim which is now making the rounds, especially on WhatsApp groups, which seem to suggest that 16 Amarnath pilgrims killed after a bus falls into a ravine. The fact check on that is false. The incident is a 3-year-old Amarnath Yatra incident, has not commenced yet. So, false there. Let's move on. Get you the second big fact check that we are tracking right now. This is how Antarctica looks from space, a huge white patch. Well, this is a claim. You might have got this image on your WhatsApp or other social media platforms. The fact check, viral images, is computer generated from the year 2005. Once again, false. Well, with these two fact checks, it's time for us to wrap up 7 at 7. We, of course, will see you tomorrow, but do stay tuned. Up next is To The Point. Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.